please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Alderman Volkart.
Here.
Alderman Plank. Absent. Alderman Ode.
Here.
Alderman Bell.
Here.
Alderman Wilson.
Here.
And Alderman Lewis. Here. Can I get a motion approving April 2nd, 2024 meeting minutes, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to old business, ordinance number 1463, an ordinance to amend chapter 2 as it pertains to compensation of the mayor. Staff report, please.
This is simply a second reading of our mayoral compensation ordinance. This was amended by the board at the last meeting, increasing the monthly salary from $500 to $550 per month. So that will be the only change to the ordinance, is to change that from $500 to $550 and then amend the dates of the term to align with the new mayoral term.
Can I get a motion to, any questions first off? Can I get a motion approving ordinance number 1463, an ordinance to amend chapter 2 as it pertains to the compensation of the mayor?
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Volkart.
Aye.
Alderman Ode.
Aye.
Alderman Bell.
Aye.
Alderman Wilson.
Aye.
Alderman Lewis.
Aye.
Ordinance number 1464, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Bartlett and West Construction LLC. Staff report, please.
Again, second reading of the ordinance from last meeting. As reported at the last meeting, there was one minor change to the total contract price. We were waiting for clarification on one item as it related to some bidding services. We wanted to know if they were included in that total price or in addition to that total price. They were in addition to that total price, raising the total contract price from $472,000 to $492,000.
Any questions for staff? I get a motion approving ordinance number 1464, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Bartlett West Construction.
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Lewis.
Aye.
Alderman Wilson.
Aye.
Alderman Bell.
Aye.
Alderman Ode.
Aye.
And Alderman Volkart.
Aye.
Ordinance number 1465, an ordinance to amend chapter 14, sewer and water and solid waste of the Code of the City of Ashland. Staff report, please.
This is the second reading. We had the first reading in the last meeting. There's nothing that's changed on it. Sewer rate increase is 4.8%, and then the water rate increase is 3.2%.
Any questions for staff? Can I get a motion approving ordinance number 1465, an ordinance to amend chapter 14, sewer and water and solid waste of the Code of the City of Ashland?
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Volkart.
Aye.
Alderman Ode.
Aye.
Alderman Bell.
Aye.
Alderman Wilson.
Aye.
And Alderman Lewis.
Aye.
Moving on, ordinance number 1466, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds to certain accounts within the fiscal year 2024 budget.
Again, this is the second reading. This has to do with the water fund. It's statutorily required that we pass an ordinance if we're going to spend from fund balance, and we're going to spend approximately $550,000.
Any questions? All right. Can I get a motion to approve ordinance number 1466, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds to certain accounts within the fiscal year 2024?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Alderman Volkart.
Aye.
Alderman Ode.
Aye.
Alderman Bell.
Aye.
Alderman Wilson.
Aye.
And Alderman Lewis.
Aye.
Ordinance number 1467, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds to certain accounts within the fiscal year 2024.
Again, this is the second reading of an ordinance we addressed the last meeting, where again, we are required to pass an ordinance if we're going to spend out of fund balance. This one is for approximately $70,000 out of the general fund for the generator that we purchased for this building.
Any questions for staff? Can I get a motion approving ordinance number 1467, or ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds to certain accounts within the fiscal year 2024?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
Alderman Bell?
Aye.
Alderman Old?
Aye.
And Alderman Bocart?
Aye.
Ordinance number 1468, an ordinance authorizing to amend city code chapter 14, sewer, water, and solid waste of the city of Ashland.
Again, this is the second reading. It is raising the sewer impact and collection fees by 5%, as well as increasing the water meter fee by 5%.
Can I get a motion approving ordinance 1468, an ordinance to amend city code chapter 14, sewer, water, and solid waste of the city of Ashland?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Bocart?
Aye.
Alderman Old?
Aye.
Alderman Bell?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
And Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
Item to new business, resolution 2024-22, a resolution declaring the election results of the general election held in the city of Ashland, Missouri on April 2nd, 2024.
Before you have the resolution to certify the election results, obviously we all know the results at this point. For mayor for a 2-year term, Doris Slinker. Alderman for Ward 1 will be Brenda Ravenscraft. Alderwoman for Ward 2 will be Kristen Colbert. Alderman for Ward 3 will be Rick Lewis.
Can I get a motion approving a resolution 2024-22, a resolution declaring the election results for general election held in the city of Ashland on April 2nd, 2024?
I would love to make that motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Bocart?
Aye.
Alderman Old?
Aye.
Alderman Bell?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
And Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
All right. Can we have a motion to adjourn for the city clerk to swear in the new officers?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
If you could think of anything.
I would like to thank Alderwoman Old for her service. We started out, I was new, and we ended up at the Missouri Municipal League Conference together, and I think we learned a lot. And I've learned a lot working alongside you, and I always appreciate how prepared you are. I think you ask some of the best questions, and we are really going to miss you.
Thank you. I've enjoyed working with all of you guys. I've definitely learned a lot from 4 years of this. So good
Well,
luck in the future.
In the military and psychological sense of the word, you are relieved.
Thank you.
All right, so
Yeah, we can move it.
both of them.
Don't come back and sit in the audience and heckle you. Very nice show. So you enjoy your time.
Yes.
Don't be a stranger.
Yes, ma'am.
It already doesn't get much straighter. So don't be a stranger.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear that says on the qualifications as prescribed by law that you will support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Missouri, the provisions of all laws of the state affecting citizens of this class and the ordinances of the city of Ashland, and faithfully demean yourself by the process. There's also.
Spare no expense on that.
Well, you know.
No, you're up here now.
There's nothing wrong with that. I just need to work it.
You're gonna step right by me.
He's your guiding angel.
Hey, they were so excited to see you come, look at that sign. They even got the printer out, look at it. So, they went all out. Okay, yeah, it's a bummer.
Do I need to do a motion for this?
Let's call it to order and go.
Call meeting to order. At this time,
Wait a second. We're done.
at this time, we'll call roll call for the new board. Alderman Bocart.
Here.
Alderwoman Ravencraft.
Here.
Alderwoman Colbert.
Here.
Alderman Bell.
Here.
Alderman Wilson.
Here.
Alderman Lewis.
Here.
Moving on, special items, we have none. Appointments to boards and commissions, a resolution in 2024-2023, a resolution of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Ashland, Missouri, making certain appointments to the board of commissions and positions within the city. Do we need to announce all that? Because,
Yeah, I mean, if you want to read off all those on there, we have quite a few appointments or reappointments to various boards and commissions, as well as.
like one thing,
It's not big print, though.
hey, watch it. Following persons hereby appointed to the Park and Rec Board, Cecil Payne, terms expires 4/27. The following persons are hereby appointed to Planning and Zoning Commission: Nikki Reinhardt, Corey Berto, Sarah Egan, Don Jenkins, Ronald Richards. Pursuant to Chapter 2, Ashland Code Ordinance, the mayor and aldermen are hereby appointed to Planning and Zoning for the fiscal year 2024, Rick Lewis and Derek Slinker. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of Ashland Code Ordinance, Board of Aldermen make the following annual appointments: Stephanie Bell is still pro tem, Darrell is city clerk, Scott Young is police chief, Todd Smith is city attorney, and Jeff Case is city prosecutor. Moving on to special public comments.
We need to take action on
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry.
We just listed them all.
Can I get a motion approving appointments and boards and commissions?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote. Alderman Lewis.
Aye.
Alderman Wilson.
Aye.
Alderman Bell.
Aye.
Alderman Colbert.
Aye.
Alderwoman Ravencraft.
Aye.
And Alderman Bocart.
Aye.
Scheduled public comments, as of right now, we have none. Just a reminder that the city clerk needs the comments in by Wednesday before the meeting date. Public hearing, we have none. Introductions to first reading, Council Bill number 2024-10, an ordinance approving MRWA subdivision plat 2. Staff report, please.
Right, for those of you that don't know, I'm Darren Ratterman with Community Development. And this is a request for approval of a minor replat of the subdivision known as MRWA. The owner of the property is Big River Land Company LLC, and the submitting firm is Brush and Associates Incorporated. Christina Lubrick of Lubrick Engineering performed the review. Subject property is approximately 6.41 acres in size and will consist of 2 lots, one approximately 0.11 acres and the second 6.3 acres. This property sits just east of Highway 63 at the northeast corner of Hardwick and Angel Lanes and is known as Lot 1 of the MRWA subdivision. Current zoning is light industrial. The purpose of this minor subdivision is to create a parcel for the intent of sale. There is currently a digital billboard on what will become Lot 1B. It is the desire of the landowner to offer the billboard up for sale while retaining ownership to Lot 1A. There's an access easement for Lot 1B at the corner of Angel Lane and Hardwick Lane. Though the access easement connects to the intersection at a less than ideal location, it was determined after discussion with interested parties that it would be acceptable given the preexistence of a 70-year-old drive and the low impact use expected. The creation of lots 1A and 1B will require no change to the parcels themselves and will not require the need for any additional utilities or city infrastructure. There is no intention for future development on this parcel. Staff recommends approval of the replat of the MRWA subdivision as it appears to have met the intended requirements of the city code. The Planning and Zoning Commission voted to recommend approval of this replat on April 9th.
Any questions for Darren? Was there any concerns with P and Z?
No, there was mention of MoDOT and Hardwick Lane, but it's mostly on Angel Lane.
Can I have a motion approving Council Bill number 2024-10, an ordinance approving MRWA subdivision plat 2?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Volkart?
Aye.
Alderwoman Ravencraft?
Aye.
Alderwoman Colbert?
Aye.
Alderwoman Bell?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
Council Bill number 2024-11, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds to certain accounts within the fiscal year 2024 budget.
Staff is providing the included ordinance that is statutorily necessary in order to close the fiscal year. We're asking for a first and second reading this evening. Political subdivisions preparing to close previous fiscal years must document, report, and pass an ordinance recognizing final budget amendments. Exhibit A that's in your packet highlights the beginning budget, a representation of all budget amendments for fiscal year 24, with the addition of insurance fund lines for the final budget of 24, symbolizing the closing of fiscal year 24. Accounts are balanced and all necessary ordinances presented to the board regarding fund balance expenditures occurring in fiscal year 24 have all been presented. Staff recommends approving the included ordinance.
Any questions for council? Can I get a motion approving Council Bill 2024-11, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds to certain accounts within the fiscal year 2024 budget?
That motion.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
Alderman Bell?
Aye.
Alderman Colbert? Alderman Ravenscraft?
Aye.
And Alderman Volkart?
Aye.
Moving on to new business. Ordinance number 1469, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds to certain accounts within the fiscal year 2024 budget. Second read.
Second read. Anything changed?
Nothing, yeah, everything changed then. All right. Can I get a motion approving ordinance number 1469, an ordinance authorizing the appropriation of funds to certain accounts within the fiscal year 2024 budget?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Alderman Volkart?
Aye.
Alderwoman Ravenscraft?
Aye.
You gotta change your name. It's too long.
I know, try right.
Say Alderwoman Brenda? Alderman Colbert?
Aye.
Alderman Bell?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
And Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
All right. Moving on. Resolution 2024-24, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Planning Design Studio for an Ashland City Park master plan. Staff report, please.
Right, resolution for you is to approve an agreement with Planning Design Studio. As you recall, the last handful of months, the park board put out a request for qualifications to assist with some master planning efforts for City Park. They had 3 firms that responded to that advertisement. The steering committee ultimately selected Planning Design Studio and began to negotiate a contract with them. That contract was presented to the park board last Monday for recommendation. Park board recommends approval of the contracts, and now it is before the board for final approval so we can get going on the City Park master planning effort. The proposal total cost is $17,500, which includes the $15,000 base planning effort and then an additional $2,500 public workshop that we felt was necessary to add in just to get some more public input and engagement as they work through master planning efforts for City Park. We will have some additional costs to this project that'll come forward to the board within the next couple of meetings to do some survey work out there. It sounds like when we did the Land Water Conservation Fund grant project, we didn't do a survey ahead of that. We were hoping we had some historic records to use as part of this project, but we don't quite have those, so we were gonna be engaging with some of our on-call engineers to get a scope of service to do some survey work out there for us. And once we have that survey complete, planning design studio can get started on the actual planning project and working with the park board on that. So the purpose of this resolution, total project cost is $17,500, and staff recommends approval of the included resolution.
Any questions to staff, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
What are they doing in the park? What are they doing in the park?
Well, that's what they're gonna figure out.
The big city park?
The big one, yeah. So it'll be the goal is to have it done, right before Fall Fest, that way they can roll out some planning documents at Fall Fest and get some good engagement there. But it'll be a multi-month project to work with planning design studio, a stakeholder group, the public, to try and figure out what improvements we wanna see over there, what it needs to look like, and where the priority should be.
Okay, and then what about the park over on Mustang?
That'll be the next one. So the park board, they had an option of a few parks to pick from, and they felt it necessary to focus on that one, kind of get that one complete. Yeah, since we put a lot of money into it recently, so try and wrap that one up and then move on to
Okay.
Ashland Ridge Park.
If everything works out great with this one, we'll continue to use them on the next one. So,
Yeah, I have a friend in town, we just went by the Ashland Ridge Park.
Yeah.
And she said, why don't they do something with it? I said, I don't know, but I'll bring that up. Here I am.
All right, can I get a motion approving resolution 2024-24? A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Planning Design Studio for the Ashland City Park Master Plan.
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Bocart?
Aye.
Alderwoman Ravencroft?
Aye.
Alderwoman Colbert?
Aye.
Alderman Bell?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
And Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-25, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Civic Plus for website improvement.
All right. As discussed during the budget workshops, we're in the last year of our contract with Revise, our current website provider. They built that website at the start of that project and been hosting it for the last 5 years. Staff visited with Revise to kind of discuss some potential improvements to the website and the costs associated with those, and ultimately determined that for the amount of money they were requesting, it made more sense to go with a product that we felt would be better for us in the immediate term as well as the long term, and offer quite a variety of additional solutions that we've been trying to address over the last couple of years. Better citizen engagement on the website, better communication tools in terms of having consistent messaging on the website, Facebook, text alert, email alert, all that. So we went out and found a product through Civic Plus that'll offer that. So there will be a little bit more money on the upfront costs when compared to Revise to reinvent this website, if you will. But in terms of that, the annual contract is more or less the same as we're currently paying on Revise. So again, staff kind of feels that it's probably in our best interest to switch products at this point, try and get something that has a lot more robust features in terms of citizen engagement, transparency tools on the website, citizen complaint or concern tools that we can incorporate into that website. Implementing some calendar improvements, that's something the park board's kind of been pushing on pretty heavily over the last 2 years, is trying to get some better reservation type tools that they can implement for the park facilities. So Civic Plus is really the only product that we could find that kind of checked all those boxes.
I noticed I saw the initial cost. How much is the annual renewal?
That's right there, so $5,300 on the annual.
Okay, so that's not bad.
There's no long-term contract with this one, so it's just an annual that we can renew or not renew year in and year out.
Visually, will it look completely different once they get done?
Yes and no. The goal is gonna try and keep it somewhat the same, but I don't know if you've looked on there recently, like one of the big things that we've been fighting with Revise on is like the news feed at the bottom and how that gets all skewed. There's really no quick and easy way to fix that. So that's one of the things that we're hoping to address to make that a little more user-friendly and attractive. But the goal is to try and keep some of those hot buttons on either the side or across the middle, right on the landing page. That way we don't lose those quick widgets, if you will.
Any other questions?
It's a terrible website. I mean, I can't believe those people are still in business. I mean, most high schoolers could do better than that. I mean,
Don't
it's
hold
really
back
bad.
what you really think.
No, I mean, it's been terrible from day one and they haven't fixed it. I mean, it really is, I mean,
We'll
have,
fix it, but it's like $1,000 ticket every time we wanna.
I have trouble navigating it. I mean, it really is bad, and I think if there's any, I think it's our duty to leave a review or do, I don't know what, to like let other cities know, like, this is not a great product, and it is really.
Don't worry,
been
this
a-
is out there on the internet.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, it really is, I mean, from day one, it's been a terrible product.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve resolution 2024-25, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Civic Plus for website improvement?
Move.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
Alderman Bell?
Aye.
Alderman Colbert?
Aye.
Aye.
Ravenscraft? Alderman Bocart?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-26, a resolution approving change order number 1 for Angel Lane Culvert Replacement Project.
Oh, yeah. James is at a conference right now out of state. So, looks like we have an overrun that needs approval on this change order for a total of $8,700. There was a water line conflict that needed to be resolved that wasn't located, or at least not with any accuracy during the original locate, so that has already been fixed by the contractor. This change order simply addresses the costs associated with that, looks like.
Could you explain what a culvert and all that is?
Yeah.
For our new staff.
Yeah, so I mean, you drive Angel Lane at any point in time, way down on the end of it, right before you turn to head in front of the airport, there's a giant box culvert there. It was originally steel tubes, and those steel tubes collapsed, or started to collapse last year. It's actually been a box culvert and stormwater piece of infrastructure that staff has apparently fought with for a number of years. I think this is probably the second or third time it's been replaced, leading up to this project where it's finally been, appropriately engineered and completely replaced with a concrete structure. So the goal is not to have to touch this thing for 25, 30 years, as opposed to those steel ones, which we were having quite a bit of an issue with.
And a box culvert's kind of like a bridge.
Correct.
Any other questions for staff? All right, can I get a motion approving resolution 2024-26, a resolution approving the change order number 1 for Angel Lane Culvert Replacement Project?
So moved.
Have a second.
Second.
Alderman Bocart?
Aye.
Alderman Ravenscraft?
Aye.
Alderman Colbert?
Aye.
Alderman Bell?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
And Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-27, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an engagement agreement with PFN Financial Advisors LLC to form a rate and review sufficiency studies for the city water and sewer enterprise funds.
As we've discussed over the last year with the wastewater treatment plant expansion, one of the critical things that we're going to have to do now that we've approved the engineering is start to plan out that path to finance. As we talked during some of our workshops, we have a variety of tools that we can potentially implement there. It's not just going to be rate increases, it may be the connection fees or the impact fees, taking a look at those and figuring out how to adjust those accordingly. So now that we've approved that contract with Bart West to start the design and start the construction of this plant, we want to cut PFM loose to spend the next 3 to 6 months working in conjunction with Bart West as well as city staff to take a hard look at the rate structures for both the water and sewer utility. Obviously sewer is the most critical, but since these are combined utility, if you will, with water and sewer being a combined service there on your utility bill, it's important to look at both. If there's going to be any large changes proposed to how we do the base billing on both water and sewer, it's important to be able to look at both of those at the same time. In addition to that, in the budget for this next fiscal year is a water master planning effort. So Curtis has quite a few large capital projects on his CIP. We'd like to actually sit down with an engineering firm and get some engineering justification for some of those things and try and identify some of those future needs. For example, if we need a third water tower eventually, we want to be prepared for that. So we'll start working on that master planning effort, and then at the same time, PFM will be able to take a look at the rates for the water utility to make sure that we have the capacity to build that water tower when the time comes. So as a proposal before you, the estimated cost for each utility is anywhere between 15 and 20,000. So the resolution before you is a not to exceed 20,000 for each one of those utilities.
Any questions for staff? Can I get a motion approving resolution 2024-27, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an engagement agreement with PFM Financial Advisors LLC to perform a rate and review sufficiency studies for the city water and sewer enterprise.
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
Alderman Bell?
Aye.
Alderman Colbert?
Aye.
Alderman Reddencraft?
Aye.
And Alderman Bogart?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-28, a resolution authorizing the purchase of a 2024 mid-size truck.
I humbly stand before you on behalf of the Community Development Department, City of Ashland, requesting authorization to complete the purchase of a 2024 Chevrolet Colorado from Ed Morse Chevrolet. So staff recently held a competitive bid process for proposals to purchase a mid-size pickup, and the Chevy Colorado was the winner in that bid process. At the same time, trading in a 2016 Ford F-250. This transaction was authorized in the fiscal year 25, FY25 budget, I believe. Bids were solicited and opened on April 12th, last Friday at 2 p.m. And the results of the bid openings were that Ed Morse, his total bid, so his base bid was $34,202 with the trade-in of $12,000. So that total purchase price came to $22,202. And Rusty Drewing had a base bid of $33,610, but there was not a trade included with that. So the total purchase price would have been $33,610. So the bids have been calculated and verified for accuracy, and it's staff's recommendation that the city accept the bid from Ed Morse Chevrolet for $22,202. $25,000 was budgeted for this acquisition, and this bid total came in $2,798 under. So, if the board agrees with staff's recommendation, the mayor should be authorized to sign the resolution, thus allowing the purchase of this vehicle to be completed.
Why didn't Rusty give you a trade-in?
That was my question.
That is a good question. I mean, they were given the same bid package, so.
That's weird.
And it's amazing, only two submitted bids, but
Do they have this one in stock, or is it?
so luckily Ed Morse was the only one that I know of that does have it in stock, and it's ready to go on the lot.
Got CD player and all that in it?
It only has, it's important to point out, it only has, I think, 2 options. And one only came in an option package and came with a couple things like a sliding rear window, which wasn't needed. Cruise control was one of the things, but to get the cruise control and to get what I wanted was a center console. It came with cruise control and these other things. But that whole package was only $400 and some. But the package, the other option was a spray and bed liner, which really helps resale because you don't damage the bed, it doesn't scratch up the bed of the truck. So. And that was the same price as the option package. So.
Any questions for staff? Can I get a motion approving resolution 2024-28, a resolution authorizing the purchase of a 2024 mid-size truck?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Lockhart?
Aye.
Alderwoman Ravenscraft?
Yes.
Alderwoman Colbert?
Aye.
Alderman Bell?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
Alderman Lewis.
Aye.
Moving on to reports. Mayor's report, just a couple things. Mark your calendars, May 11th, Sadie Robinette is doing their butterfly garden presentation at Ashland Ridge Park. So if you guys can attend that, I appreciate it. And-
May 11th?
Yes, sir. And then also, Officer or Chief Young, we received a compliment from members of Ashland Optimist saying that they're seeing you patrol more in the city limits, and like that. And then Jessica at any event also said you can park in her parking lot anytime.
Good, thank you.
And then for all the new board members, I would advise to set up a meeting with Kyle, just a monthly meeting. It just gets you up to date, teach you some of the lingo, and let you know what's going on with the city. That's my report. City Administrator.
Just a couple things here. As we've previously reported, the MML elected officials training is June 6th through 7th in Columbia. So please let me know if you'd like to be signed up for that, and we will get you registered. ABC just released their save the date for May 4th for their Kentucky Derby Party, 2nd annual at Eagle Knoll. That'll be from 4 to 8. Lead service line inventory contracts. Staff is working on negotiating that with the presumptive low bid, so we should have something to you at our next meeting, hopefully. Staff is also engaged with Klinger and Associates, one of our on-call engineers, to conduct a couple of traffic studies for us. So taking a look at Redbud. The intersection you brought up a couple meetings ago, I think, is on the list, and then there's one other section of town that we're gonna take a look at, so we can get some good traffic studies on those, and then come back with a recommendation as need be to the board. Other than that, leader breakfast is Thursday morning at the Optimist Club. You still have time to purchase tickets online tonight, I believe, for $20, otherwise they're $25 at the door, day of the event. Doors open at 7:15 Thursday morning. That's all I have.
Could you tell us what the ML report or ML meeting was about? So for the new board members.
So just elected officials training, so they give an annual elected officials training conference to start teaching newly elected officials. Happens right after the April election, so you guys can kind of get some intimate training and knowledge about your role and about cities and how they work. So multi-day course up there.
And they feed you.
And they feed you. All right.
City Attorney's report.
Yes. For the new members, my name is Todd Smith. I'm the city attorney. I'm from Loudoun Municipal Law. We're the largest municipal law firm in the state. We have 14 lawyers. We represent about 80 cities. One of the things that allowed us to grow so big is we put on yearly trainings just after the spring elections. We call them COT trainings, that's city official training. We do those all over the state. It's an all-day crash course. The intended audience is people who are new to city government. We talk about taxation, budgeting, the sunshine law, contract, zoning. I always talk about the police and public safety things. The closest event to you all is the one that we put on in Jeff City. My partner and I do that. That is on May 10th. But we also do these lectures in Independence, Mansfield, Maryville, Fayette, and Springfield. They're very, very popular. Several hundred people will show up to these events. It's $30 to go. That covers the cost of food. We provide continental breakfast and a box lunch.
No, you're not providing it, we're paying for it.
Well,
We're paying $30.
Yes, ma'am.
So no, get that right.
You're paying $30 to listen to Todd.
You're paying
Oh, is that, okay.
and as you will soon learn, I'm very quiet, shy, and reserved. No,
So am I.
no, clearly not. Anyway, I would encourage you all to consider going. It's very popular. The MML training that they do in Columbia is very similar. I think there's probably no need to go to both, but I would encourage new folks to city government to go one or the other. It really is a nice way to spend a day and really get a nice overview of all sorts of things. The second thing I wanted to tell you all is I'm giving a lecture tomorrow on administrative search warrants. That is 4 hours long. I don't imagine any of you would want to do that. I'm sure no one's ever given a 4-hour lecture on this subject. It's near and dear to my heart, but I do like to tell you all what I'm about. And then thirdly, 4 days ago, the United States Supreme Court issued a case about city building permits. The reporting on this has been very inaccurate. People are saying it makes it illegal for cities to pass permits. It does not. It is a very technical opinion about a very specific criteria for assigning fees. Don't worry about it, but if you read about it or hear anyone saying cities can't charge permitting fees, that is grossly wrong. That's not what the opinion's about. It's a very technical sort of minor thing, nothing to get worried about. That is my report.
Thank you, sir. Public Works monthly report.
Again, James is at a conference. He's got a written report in there. Feel free to shoot over any questions you might have to myself, and I'll get them to James and get some follow-up.
How is the weather?
I say, how's it golfing down there? Nice conference.
Shaking potholes.
Lawn maintenance, city lawn maintenance could use some attention.
We're at,
Like the back of this
I
building
know, the
looks
weeds,
terrible, and
the dandelions are
Park.
very bad.
the park
City.
could use some
Yeah,
attention.
nobody said code enforcement. No, he said the law.
Moving on to Community Development Director's monthly report.
Well, after that glowing introduction, I will reintroduce myself. I am Darren Ratterman with Community Development, and apparently I will now become even more disliked in town after the whole permanent thing. But I am I can honestly say, the most disliked person in town.
I've heard that.
Ask around. Although I'm trying to change that, I haven't
Hey,
accomplished that
I'm
yet.
just telling you what I've heard.
I get it. Any questions?
Hearts and minds, one at a time.
I almost got Charlie Clayton one over, I'll tell you that, so.
Any new business come down, other than O'Reilly's?
Not any new big ones.
All right. How about housing permits?
So the permits they fluctuate a lot, and it's hard to tell in a town this size, but, we're a little under projections, but, I mean, we could have a month where 10 come in, but given that I heard interest rates went up again yesterday for mortgages.
Did they end up auctioning that home? So, do we know what's going in there?
I've heard that they plan on opening up as a care nursing facility. I have informed the owners that they will have to reapply, again, most hated, reapply for a conditional use permit because it's new ownership. So.
And the Rankin's having a ribbon cutting, right?
Yes,
It is
May
next-
26th.
No, it's just this month, it's next week.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's coming soon.
Right.
It's Friday.
Yeah, next Friday. That's correct.
Any questions for community development? Moving on to treasurer's report.
So since Darren introduced himself, I'm Shelley Martin, I'm the city treasurer. I do, I know you too. It is the close of our fiscal year. Our fiscal year runs from May 1st until April 30th. We try to wrap up all business mid-April. And obviously, I took the majority of the agenda, making sure that all necessary ordinances were passed. We do get an audit every year. It is an independent audit, and so it's very important to us to make sure that we stay within statutorial guidelines as far as managing the taxpayers' money. And it's also very important to me. So if you have any questions about any of that, feel free to ask me. Other than Darren, I'm probably the second most hated because I say no a lot. But for my report, we had senior safety and risk consultants from Missouri Employer Mutual out to train all city employees on the 10th of this month. That's very important. We're focusing a lot on risk management. That's going to be my main priority for this fiscal year is risk management for the city. I've joined SHRM and will be working on getting my credentials for human resource management, and I will also be attending the Missouri Employment Conference in May at the Lake of the Ozarks. As I said before, fiscal year 24 is closed. The last payroll was completed today, and in a copy of your packet, you received the last copy of the fiscal year 24 budget. The 25 budget is completed. You were provided a link for that as well as a PDF. I'm still waiting to hear from our software consultant. We have a few little technical things we've got to work through, so it doesn't look so funky on the website when we post it. But that will be resolved. And then I've already started the application to the GFOA, so it will be mailed in on May 1st. And I am very confident that we are going to receive an award. So I'll be very upset if we do not.
Will this be the first one?
Yes, it'll be the first one ever. So between now and May 1st, if you have any comments, questions, I know that Rick and Melissa were my proofreaders. If you have anything at all, just email me. But yes, I will be submitting it on May 1st. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Moving on to Board of Aldermen report. Alderman Wilkart.
Just since Stephanie had mentioned it, so the park looks like it hasn't been mowed in a little while. And I know there's been some rain and stuff like that, but it's getting a little extra shaggy maybe. You can tell it's been mowed. But there is a spot that may actually belong to the school that is between the, whatever you want to call it, south parking lot, BOAG parking lot, and the ball field that's got like knee-high weeds and some stuff. I'm not sure if there's like construction stuff in there or whatever, but it looks like it hasn't been mowed since everything else has been mowed.
Have you talking about the, where a new house, or a house used to be?
No, it's, so the ball field.
Mhm.
So on the west side of the ball field, between where the, right field foul line would be and the parking lot for the school on the south side.
Just a grass strip on the berm.
Yeah, but there's like behind the dugout, and then there's like a strip that's like 3 feet wide, and it could be close to, it may be the schools, but it looks like it hasn't been mowed since everything else has been mowed. And I don't know if there's stuff in there, there's like a stake that's got a red flag,
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's some stuff that needs to be picked up, so somebody can mow, and if it is, it might be ours, I don't know, but that's it.
Thanks, sir. Alderman Ravengrab.
What?
Your report?
But you don't wanna hear what's on my mind, so you can just pass right on right now.
Happy to be here, right?
And I am thrilled.
And Alderman Colbert. Alderman Bell.
No report.
Alderman Wilson. No report. Alderman Lewis.
Just wanted to welcome our two new members, and feel free to call if you have any questions. No question is a dumb question. You may get a dumb answer if you call me, but open to help you any way I can.
Thank you.
Now we'll open up to general comments and public.
Boo.
Who was the old 400
Yeah.
Main Street? I know how this goes.
Please
So,
state your name.
I'll keep this brief. I want to thank all of you all for agreeing once again to serve the city. I do appreciate that. I know what a tough job it is. And for the new people on the board, I would like to ask you in the next few days to read over the oath that you took tonight. It's very important that you understand what your obligations are under that, and you did swear to uphold the Constitution, and sometimes that does not always align with our personal beliefs or our personal agenda, but that is still our duty, and so I just would like to ask you to do that. Thank you again for your service. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a second?
So
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
All right.